There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green, dark forest was too silent to be real.
That's a great day. Today is day 94 on the Pacific Crest Trail. I am at Cascade Locks in a hotel. I'm going to be going into Washington tomorrow. And so what I'd like to do for this episode is walk through each of the days and talk about them and what was good, what was not so good. So last time we talked, it was day 87. I had entered the Three Sisters Wilderness area and had gone by South Sister. Day 88, I went by Middle Sister and North Sister. I also went through the Obsidian limited entry area, and I also walked through the lava fields. The next 2 miles on the PCT, it's a Obsidian limited entry area. My PCT permit covers it, but if I didn't have it, I would need a special permit to be able to walk through this area. You know, good thing I dug my cat hole a short while ago. I'd hate to be trying to, use the facilities and somebody thinks I'm stealing obsidian. A thru-hiker will cut the tag off of a shirt because he doesn't want to carry the extra weight. Figure the odds he's going to try to steal any obsidian. Not likely. It's Obsidian Falls. Very pretty. Morning visitor. It's a little windy up here, so hopefully you can hear me. You know those little rocks on the bottom of a gas barbecue grill, little decorative rocks? Well, imagine those covering miles and miles and miles of hills. And imagine walking on them. It's like being in a Flintstone cartoon. It's like Oregon. Took all of its unwanted rocks and dumped them right here. And then put the PCT right through it. I have to say that day 88 was the worst day I've had on trail. Walking through the lava fields was not fun. And I even just stopped recording at one point because I knew if I turned on the camera I would just start cursing, and my wife wouldn't be happy if she heard that on a video. And so I didn't. I walked 25 miles that day, but I'd never worked so hard for so little on the PCT. It was just a miserable, to me, experience. Day 89 was a miles on trail day. I had need to get to Alali Lake Resort, and I had 2 days to do it. In my mind, I had 2 days to do it. It was 55 miles away. So on day 88, I walked 30 miles. It was a decent day. It was a decent day going around Mount Washington and the Three Fingers. Day 90 was 25 miles. I was trying to get to Alali Lake Resort and was going around Mount Jefferson. That was a very tough day as well. Coming around the northern side of Mount Jefferson, and peak is hidden in the clouds. Just came up on this ridge line. Spent the morning working my way around Mount Jefferson. Now I'm on the northern side, so you can see it there. And if I turn, you can look out. Look out. There is Mount Hood. Right there. These mountains are nicely lined up. Start chalking them off. Day 91 was a miles on trail day. I had approximately 50 miles from Alali Lake Resort to Timberline Lodge. And so I wanted to do as many as I can the first day, leaving me more time on the second day to get into Timberline Lodge, do what I needed to do, pick up a resupply box, and have dinner if I could. So I did 32 miles on day 91, and it was a good day. I spent the end of the day watching otters play, and it was a good, easy trail day, so I enjoyed that day. Day 92, I went into Timberline Lodge. What Timberline Lodge is famous for, besides being a great resort, is it was, at least the outside of the hotel was used in the movie The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Remember the road at the beginning of the movie The Shining, as they were driving up and then coming to the lodge? So this is my campsite for the night. Just give you an idea what camping on the PCT can be like. So nice spot, pretty flat, looks decent. You walk over here, You notice that my opening is actually right on this cliff here, and I got water earlier from the river down below where the PCT crossed over that. It was about a mile back, and then came up the hill. And so now I've got, this is where my tent's going to be, and this is what I've got for a view. So on that day, what I did is 19 miles up to Timberline Lodge, picked up a resupply box, had a really good dinner, expected just to camp right outside of Timberline Lodge, but wound up getting done early, earlier than I thought I would, and so I hiked another 4 miles just to get out of the craziness of the lodge. A lot of tourists there. I saw maybe a dozen hikers, but the place was packed full of all kinds of tourists, and so I just wanted to get out of there. So wound up doing 24 miles or 24 miles that day. It was a good hiking day. Day 93 was a miles on trail day. Again, for Timberline Lodge to Cascade Locks, I had another approximately 50 miles to do. So I had these kind of 2-day sequences 3 times in a row. And so on day 93, wound up doing 34 miles. Now, I don't know how well this will come out, but you can see the different shades as the mountain ranges recede, go farther away from me, and then of course way in the back, Mount St. Helens. Just a nice view. This looks like the last ridge before I get to Cascade Locks. Somewhere over there, another 4 miles is my campsite. And then I walk along the ridge tomorrow, down through there, and then up over the other side, down here on the other side, and where the Columbia River is. All good. And then lastly, day 94, that's today. I walked 11 miles down into the town of Cascade Locks. Coming down the ridge, almost down, you can see the Columbia River there. The bridge is actually off to the left behind that bend there, so still got about 4.5 miles before I get there. Right over there is Bridge of the Gods. That's what I'll go over tomorrow. Get into Washington. This is Bridge of the Gods. I've done laundry, cleaned my equipment. Haven't done that since Lake Tahoe, where I've really gone through all my equipment and cleaned it. And I wanted to do that before I hit the last section going into Washington. So I did get a hotel room. I usually don't get a hotel room when it's just me. If it's my family, then yeah, of course. But normally I like to sleep in the tent. Kind of keeps one foot on the trail at all times. But this time I knew I needed to clean all my equipment and get it laid out, and so I wanted some place to be able to do that. And that's what I've been doing today. As far as the trail, kind of a little about what I'm seeing. This period, this time period of videoing, I didn't do a lot of videoing of me looking, at the camera, that sort of thing. I did a lot of scene shots because it was kind of a period of introspection, kind of just thinking about things. first off, as you know, I'm wearing a knee brace, and if you haven't figured out by now, I'm a pretty competitive person, and so just getting used to a limitation on my body is well, it's new. So my mileage was pretty good this go around, but a couple times I was really feeling kind of down on myself. Fortunately, I hiked with Breakpoint, a very good section hiker, for a chunk of this week, off and on, and he's very good. So he would fly off, and then for some reason I would be able to catch up with him at a later point, and then we would hike together. He hiked with Darwin part of the way, at least, during Darwin's trip on the Arizona Trail, so you might recognize him from then. But he relayed to me unsolicited. I was feeling down about my walking through the lava fields and how poorly I did, and going around Mount Jefferson. And both those days I did 25, but I had to work real hard for it. And he relayed to me that he had walked, though at least going through the lava fields, he'd walked with 3 thru-hikers, 2 of which I know and hiked with, and they're good hikers, and all 3 of them had come down with dehydration and had issues themselves getting through the lava field. So I felt better about that. And then he talked about the difficulty of getting around Mount Jefferson, and so I felt better about that as well. At least it just wasn't my knee giving me problems. Those section parts of the trail were kind of tough, and so I thought about that a lot. The other thing is the dynamic on the trail is changing. I mean, we're getting down to the last state. I'm seeing less true Nobo thru hikers. It's just a natural attrition. We're getting towards the end. There's a reason only 20% of the people actually finish. And so I'm seeing less Nobo thru hikers than I had seen previously. I am seeing people that have jumped forward. People that were northbounders. They knew that they were kind of running out of time before the winter storms start to hit in the northern Cascades. So they've leaped forward, 300, 400, 500 miles, and they're doing northern Oregon and Washington with the hopes of leaping back to the area they missed that has a milder climate, and they can hit that section before the winter hits that area, and that's the intent. So I'm seeing more of that. And I'm also seeing southbounders, probably since Crater Lake National Park till now, Cascade Locks. I'm seeing a lot of southbounders. The Sobos have a different period of time. It's still 5-month window, but for them it starts really 1 July, and southbounders usually start hiking between 1 July and 15 July. Tomorrow I will go into Washington. 520 miles left on the trail, 1 state. Oregon is notorious for 2 things: mosquitoes and forest fires. But there is a sweet spot in time during the summer, and it varies depending on the summer, when everything is dried out enough to where the giant swarms of mosquitoes have died off. There's still a mosquito here or there, but the swarms that have been known to swoop down and grab through hikers and carry them off, they have died off. But it's not too dry to where the forest fire season has started, and you have giant fire closure areas, and the PCT can get shut off in areas. And that sweet spot in time is when I walk through the state of Oregon. I'm not complaining, mind you, but it is what it is. It was just it was a good time to walk through, and it made it really nice. So I've enjoyed the state. I've enjoyed hiking through it, and now I'm looking forward to finishing this thing up. It's all good. I'll see you next time.
There was a time in this fair land.